You are exhausted. I know because I can feel it from here. You are tired of trying, of believing, of waiting, and nothing changing. You wake up every day in the same place, with the same tightness in your chest, with the same feeling that life is passing by and you have been left behind. Do you want to know something? This ends today, at this exact moment, because this video is not a coincidence. You did not click here out of curiosity. You were directed. Something inside you recognized that the time has come, and I will prove this to you in the next few minutes. There is a spiritual decree so powerful that when you accept it with an open heart, it reorganizes everything around you. Your health, your finances, your relationships, your peace, and it only needs 30 seconds of your life, 30 seconds of real surrender. If you stay with me until the end, I will deliver this decree to you word for word. But first, you need to understand why nothing has worked until now, and this answer will shock you. Before continuing, I need you to do one simple thing. Look down. Do you see the like button? Press it now. This minimal gesture is your first act of commitment to what is going to happen here. You are not liking a video. You are telling the universe that you are ready. Did you do it? Then let us proceed. Let us. I am going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer with sincerity, even if it is only to yourself. How many times in recent months have you felt that you were doing everything right, striving, praying, working, and yet the results did not appear? How many times did you lie in bed at night and think, what is wrong with me? I tell you what is wrong. Nothing. There is nothing wrong with you. The problem was never you. The problem is that you are operating within an invisible system that sabotages you every day. And this system has a name. It is called vibrational blockage. Let me explain in a way that makes sense. Neuroscience has already proven that the human brain processes about 60,000 thoughts per day. 60,000. And the vast majority of them, around 80%, are negative or repetitive. In other words, you can wake up motivated, you can make affirmations, you can read self-help books, but if your brain is running an internal program of scarcity, of fear, and of self-sabotage, nothing external will work. It is like trying to fill a leaking bucket. You pour water, and it never fills, because the hole is at the bottom where you cannot see. Now think with me. This is not just science. The oldest spiritual traditions in the world were already talking about this thousands of years ago. The masters of the East called it accumulated karma. The sacred scriptures call it the captivity of the mind. The Brazilian indigenous peoples call it the trapped spirit. Different names for the same reality. There is something invisible inside you that locks your life. And this something was placed there without your permission. Do you know when this began? In your childhood. Before 7 years of age, your brain operated predominantly in theta waves, which is the same state as hypnosis. Everything your parents said, everything you heard at school, at church, in the neighborhood, went straight into your subconscious without any filter. Money does not grow on trees. You are not good enough. People like us do not get there. One must suffer to deserve. These phrases were planted in the fertile soil of your child's mind, and since then they have become roots. Roots so deep that you no longer even notice they are there. But they are, and they determine every decision you make, every opportunity you let pass, every relationship you ruin without understanding why. Now I want you to imagine a scene. You are at the supermarket. It is the end of the month. You look at the cart and start taking things out because the money is not enough. You take out the cheese your child asked for. You take out the shampoo you wanted. You take out the good meat and take the cheapest one. And there in that supermarket aisle, while no one is watching, you swallow your tears, because you know you work hard. You know you deserve more. But it seems there is an invisible wall between you and abundance. This wall is the vibrational blockage, and I have just shown you where it comes from. But stay calm. Identifying the problem is only the first step. And what comes now is where the turn truly happens, because there is a key that unlocks this wall. And this key is not an expensive course, it is not years of therapy, it is not a complicated ritual. This key is a decree, a spiritual decree of the highest frequency that, when pronounced with true intention, breaks entire generational cycles. And I will deliver this decree to you today. But first, You need to understand what a decree is and why it works. Because if you do not understand this, you will pronounce the words and nothing will happen. And I do not want that for you. A decree is not a prayer. It is not a request. It is not a plea. A decree is a vibrational order. When you pray, you ask. When you decree, you declare. The difference is enormous. In prayer, you are below, looking up, asking for help. In the decree, you are standing, aligned with your divine essence, declaring what is already yours by right. Quantum physics explains this brilliantly. Every thought you have emits an electromagnetic frequency. This frequency interacts with the quantum field around you. When you decree with conviction, with emotion, and with total presence, you literally alter the configuration of the field that surrounds you. You change your vibrational signature, and when your signature changes, the reality that materializes around you also changes. It is not magic, it is physics, it is applied spirituality, and here is the detail that almost no one knows. Pay attention to this because it is worth gold. The decree does not work at the level of the mind, it works at the level of the heart. The HeartMath Institute in the United States discovered that the electromagnetic field of the heart is 5,000 times more powerful than that of the brain. 5,000 times. This means that when you decree only with your mouth, without feeling, without vibrating, without putting emotion, the universe simply does not listen. It is like sending a message without a signal. But when the decree comes from the heart, when it is born from within, when your eyes fill with water while you speak, when you feel each word crossing your chest, then the portal opens. And speaking of portals, that is exactly what happens when you accept this decree. You cross what traditions call the portal of victory. This portal is not a physical place, it is a state of consciousness. It is the exact moment when your internal energy aligns with the frequency of realization. It is when the universe, God, the source, whatever you call it, looks at you and says, "Finally, they are ready." Do you know what moves me? Knowing that many people who are watching this video now have already tried everything. They have gone to spiritual centers, they have performed folk rituals, they have paid fortunes to coaches, they have bought crystals, they have fasted, they have prayed novenas. And none of that is wrong. But none of that works in isolation if your internal vibrational field is locked. It is like having the right key, but trying to open the wrong door. The decree I am going to give you today is the right door. And the key is your genuine intention. If you are with me this far, I need to ask you one thing. Subscribe to the channel now, press the bell, because this type of content does not appear to everyone. The algorithm hides what transforms and promotes what distracts. If you want to continue receiving these decrees, these revelations, this content that truly changes your life, you need to be subscribed and have notifications activated. Do this now while you are remembering. It is fast and costs nothing. Now let us move forward, because I promised to deliver the decree to you and I will fulfill it. But let me prepare you first, because the preparation is as important as the declaration itself. Before pronouncing the decree, you need to go through 3 internal stages. Without these stages, the words lose strength, and I want this decree to enter your life like a lightning bolt and break everything that needs to be broken. The first stage is recognition. You need to recognize honestly that you live below your potential. This is not weakness, it is courage. Most people spend their entire lives pretending that everything is fine, smiling on the outside and dying on the inside, posting beautiful photos on social media while crying in the bathroom. Recognition is when you say, in plain words, without shame and without fear, "I am not living the life I deserve to live, and I no longer accept this." When you do this, something extraordinary happens in your energetic field. The layers of false protection, of pride, of social masks begin to crack, and it is through these cracks that the light enters. The second stage is forgiveness. And this is perhaps the most difficult of all, because I am not talking about forgiving others. I am talking about forgiving yourself. Forgiving yourself for having accepted crumbs for so long. Forgiving yourself for having stayed in relationships that diminished you. Forgiving yourself for having postponed your dreams. Forgiving yourself for the times you gave up on yourself. I know it hurts. I know that while you read or hear these words, something tightens inside your chest. This tightness is good. This tightness is the wound asking to be healed. Forgiveness is not forgetting. It is releasing. It is saying, I release the weight of all the times I failed myself, and I give myself permission to start again. The third stage is the decision. Not just any decision, an irrevocable decision. A decision that burns bridges with the past. Do you know when the army crossed the river and burned the boat so that no one could return? It is that decision. You decide, here and now, that you are not going back, that the old you has died, that from this moment on, you operate on a new frequency. This decision needs to be so real, so visceral, so deep, that your whole body shivers when you take it. If you feel the shiver, know that it is confirmation. The universe is listening. Now, before I deliver the decree to you, I want to share with you something that happened to a woman named Donna Lucia from Belo Horizonte. She is 58 years old. She worked her whole life as a cleaning assistant in a hospital. She supported 3 children alone after her husband left home. She lived in a small apartment in a peripheral neighborhood. She arrived from work so tired that she could barely talk to her children. She went to sleep at 9 at night and woke up at 4 in the morning to take 2 buses. One day, her eldest daughter, who was already in college, showed her a video similar to this one. Donna Lucia watched it in its entirety. She performed the decree. She cried so much that her daughter was frightened. And from that day forward, this woman's life began to change in ways she could not explain. In 3 months, she was promoted at the hospital to an administrative position, something that had never happened in 20 years. The middle son got a full scholarship to a federal university, and she received a call from a distant aunt saying there was a plot of land in her father's name that no one knew about, and that it was now her right. Coincidence? It could be. But I do not believe in coincidence. I believe in frequency. When the frequency changes, the facts change. And I want to ask you, if this happened to Donna Lucia, why can it not happen to you? What makes you think you are less deserving? What makes you believe that abundance is for everyone except you? This belief is exactly the blockage I mentioned at the beginning, and it is exactly what the decree will destroy. The time has come. I am going to ask you something now, and it is very important that you do it. If you are in a place where you can close your eyes, close them. If you are driving or in public, just breathe deeply and concentrate. Place your right hand over your heart. Feel the beat. This heart has beaten since the first second of your existence on this plane. It never asked for anything in return. It never stopped working for you. Even on your worst days, even when you thought about giving up, it continued beating. Honor this heart now. It deserves it. You deserve it. The decree is as follows. Read it with your eyes, feel it with your heart, and then pronounce it out loud. It can be whispering, it can be shouting, but it must come out of your mouth, because the spoken word carries the vibration of sound, and sound is creation. I accept at this exact moment the portal of victory that opens before me. I declare that every blockage, every lock, every impediment that existed in my life is being dissolved now. I am no longer a prisoner of my past. I am no longer a hostage to the patterns I inherited. I am no longer a slave to the beliefs that were imposed upon me. From now on, I operate on the frequency of victory, of abundance, and of grace. Prosperity finds me. Health belongs to me. Love recognizes me. The right doors open without me needing to force them. The right people arrive without me needing to beg. I am worthy, I am capable, I am chosen. And as one chosen, I decree that my life, from this second forward, transforms irreversibly for my highest good and for the good of all who surround me. It is done, it is sealed, it is consummated. If you felt something while reading or hearing this, do not ignore it. This feeling is proof that the decree activated something inside you. It might have been a shiver, it might have been a tear, it might have been a warmth in your chest, it might have even been a desire to cry for no apparent reason. All of this is your body reacting to the change in frequency. It is as if the cells of your body were reorganizing in real time. Science calls this cardiac coherence. Spirituality calls it the activation of purpose. The name does not matter. It matters that you felt it, and if you felt it, it worked. Now, I need to be honest with you about what comes next, because many people think that after a powerful decree, life will turn into a fairy tale overnight. And I would be irresponsible if I told you that. What happens after the decree is a process, a real, concrete, and sometimes uncomfortable process, because when you change your frequency, everything that does not vibrate at this new frequency begins to leave your life. And this can be frightening. Some friendships will drift away, not because these people are bad, but because they belong to the old frequency. Some situations will enter into crisis before being resolved, not because the decree did not work, but because it is clearing the path. It is like a renovation. Before it becomes beautiful, it makes a mess. Before building, it is necessary to demolish. If in the coming days or weeks you feel that everything is crumbling, do not panic. Do not retreat. It is the portal doing its work. It is the reorganization happening. I will give you now 3 simple practices to anchor the decree in your daily life, because the decree opens the portal, but it is your daily actions that keep it open. The first practice is morning repetition. Every day, as soon as you wake up, before looking at your phone, before thinking about bills to pay, before anything, place your hand on your heart and repeat the decree. It does not need to be word for word. It can be summarized. The important thing is the emotion. If you do this for 21 consecutive days, neuroscience guarantees that you will be reprogramming the neural networks of your brain. 21 days is the minimum time to create a new pattern. And spirituality confirms 21 days is the cycle of energetic renewal of a vibrational field. The second practice is active gratitude, not protocol gratitude. Not that mechanical "thank you, Lord" that we repeat without thinking. I speak of a felt gratitude. Every night before sleeping, think of 3 things that happened that day for which you are genuinely grateful. It can be something small: the hot morning coffee, the hug from a grandchild, the sun that hit your face, the parking spot that appeared. When you practice active gratitude, you are training your brain to focus on what works instead of what is missing. And what you focus on expands. This is not cheap positive thinking. Researchers at the University of California have already demonstrated that people who practice daily gratitude show measurable changes in areas of the brain associated with well-being and emotional regulation. The brain changes. Literally, the physical structure changes. The third practice is the cutting of low frequencies. And here I need to be direct with you, even if it hurts. If you spend 2 hours a day watching news of tragedy, your frequency drops. If you live daily with people who only complain, only criticize, only gossip, your frequency drops. If you consume content on the internet that leaves you with anger, fear, or anxiety, your frequency drops. The decree opens the portal, but if you continue feeding what is low, the portal closes. It is that simple. You do not need to isolate yourself from the world. You need to consciously choose what enters your mind and your energy. This is vibrational hygiene. Just as you brush your teeth every day so as not to create cavities, you need to clean your energy every day so as not to accumulate blockages. Now I want to speak especially to you who are hearing all this and still have a voice inside saying, "Will this work for me?" I understand that voice. It is real. It is your defense mechanism trying to protect you from disappointment. After so many frustrated attempts, it is natural that a part of you resists. But I ask you, do not let the fear of trying again be greater than the possibility of finally succeeding. Do you know why? Because the cost of not trying is much greater than the cost of trying and it not working. If you perform the decree and nothing changes, what have you lost? 30 seconds. But if you do it and it works, you gain a new life. The math is simple. And I go further. If you analyze it coldly, all the great turning points in history were preceded by a moment of decision. Every company that prospered began with someone saying, "I will." Every restored marriage began with someone saying, "I choose to stay." Every healing began with someone saying, "I refuse to accept this diagnosis as a final sentence." The decision is the trigger. The decree is the decision in its purest and most powerful form. I want you to do something now. Go there in the comments and write the word "I accept." Just that. I accept. This simple gesture is a milestone. It is you publicly recording your commitment to your transformation. When you write, you materialize. When others read, they are strengthened. And when I read, I know that this video fulfilled its purpose. So go there, write "I accept." I will be reading every comment. Now I want to tell you one last thing, and this is perhaps the most important part of the whole video. The reason why I know this decree works is not because of scientific studies, although they exist. It is not because of spiritual traditions, although they confirm it. The reason why I know is because I saw it work. I saw it in my life. I saw it in the lives of ordinary people. I saw it in the lives of people like you and like me. People who were not born with a silver spoon in their mouths. People who did not have access to anything special. People whom life treated with harshness, who took blows from all sides, who thought about giving up more than once, and who, in a moment of courage, decided to decree something different for themselves. And life obeyed. Because this is the truth that no one tells you. Life obeys those who decree with authority. Life does not respect those who ask. Life respects those who declare. There is an abysmal difference between saying, "God, please help me," and saying, "I decree that my victory is consummated." Both phrases stem from faith, but one stems from desperation and the other stems from sovereignty. And God, the universe, the source, respects sovereignty, because it was He who placed that sovereignty in you. You were created in the image and likeness of the Creator. You were not created to crawl. You were created to reign. Not to reign over others, but to reign over your own life, over your circumstances, over your fears, over your limits. And if you need a confirmation that this video was for you, here it is. You reached the end. Most people do not. Most get distracted, leave, skip to another video. But you stayed. And that is not a coincidence. That is selection. You were selected. You were chosen to receive this decree. And now that you have received it, the responsibility is yours. No one can do the work for you. No one can decree for you. No one can feel for you. But I can guarantee you one thing. If you take seriously what you heard here today, if you practice the 3 stages, if you repeat the decree with your heart, your life in 30 days will not be the same. In 90 days, you will not recognize yourself. And in 1 year, you will come back to this video and you will cry with gratitude, and I will be here waiting for your comment. Before going away, I need to ask you one last thing. Share this video, not for me, for someone you love. Think of that person who is going through difficulty now, that friend who lost their job, that mother who is exhausted, that father who is in debt, that brother who is lost. Send this video to them. Sometimes the right message at the right time saves a life, and perhaps you are the instrument of that salvation. If this content touched you, subscribe to the channel now. Activate the bell. Because this journey does not end here. This is only the first portal. There are other decrees, other revelations, other levels of awakening that I will share with you in the coming weeks. But you need to be connected to receive them. Do not let the algorithm pull you away from what can change your life. The portal of victory is open. You accepted the decree. Now live as one who has already won. Do not wait for victory to feel joy. Feel the joy first, and victory finds you. This is the secret of secrets. This is the key of keys. And now, it is yours. It is done, it is sealed, it is consummated. We will see each other in the next video, and when we meet again, I know you will already be different. I believe in you. Even if no one else believes, I believe. And more importantly, from now on, you believe in yourself too. Go with everything. The portal is open and it is yours.